We all want to live a long and healthy life. That's why we got the medical director with Cone Health here talking about healthy aging. What are some of the things that your healthiest older patients do consistently?
Well, for sure, they are doing things like moving every day and maintaining capacity, right? What that does is build the ability to keep moving. They connect with people, they have healthy connections, they're in relationships, they're managing loneliness. They know what their numbers are, they don't smoke, right? They know if their blood pressure is controlled, they know if they've gained a few pounds. And so these are all things that are part of their healthy habits portfolio, and they're managing that.
Okay, you said don't smoke there. That's a big one for a lot of people. Why can that make your later years harder?
Well, whenever you're inhaling something into your lungs, you can be doing damage to your lung capacity. And so that plays into having the breath and the respiratory capacity to do the things that you want to do and be as active as you want to do. In addition, smoking is also associated with multiple bad health outcomes. It's an accelerant for cardiovascular disease, meaning that it feeds the kind of problems that cause you to have little blockages in blood vessels, and so increases your susceptibility to things like little strokes and heart attacks and leading to heart failure. And so that is a major reason to avoid smoking. And it's probably the hardest thing a lot of people do. That's why I wanted to mention it.
One of the big goals I think a lot of people have in retirement is to finally be able to travel the world and hang out with their grandkids and run around. What are some of the big obstacles that can impact your mobility and ability to do that?
I think waiting to condition for traveling and underestimating the amount of strength and mobility that you'll need to travel and have a great time. So I think there are accessible sites to visit, but if you want to be able to walk on a tour of a major historical site, you're going to want to think about, how do I maintain that level of wellness now and not have to recreate it for myself at the time of a trip, right after I may have incurred some sedentary life and some loss of strength and conditioning. You're going to want to think about, how am I setting myself up to maintain the ability to walk around and to go see things, because we take it for granted, but it gets away.
A lot of this is starting early, like you've said. How do you stay motivated when you're trying to do something for so many years down the road?
Golly, I think that's a challenge that we all face. For me, right now, I'm in that sector of my life where things are starting to happen to beloved family members. And my father-in-law, um, at the end of his life, he was pushing himself so hard to be getting up and getting in the car with people and going places, and pushing himself to go out to the end of the driveway and get the mail every day. And he didn't feel good. And it was easy for other family members to think that was, he shouldn't be pushing himself that hard. But the reality is, it was the lifetime of pushing that allowed him to get to the end of the life and finish on his terms. And that really motivates me. That makes me want to get out of bed and go for a walk in the mornings.
That's a very touching story that I think we can all identify with here. One final thought: if people can do one thing today to help themselves when they age, what do you want them to do?
Gosh, I think exercise, do something. Do something more days of the week than not. There are good recommendations about 150 minutes of moderate exercise, which is, sort of 20 minutes 7 days a week, or 30 minutes 5 days a week. And think of something, even if it's taking a walk every day, something simple, and do it.
Thank you so much. We appreciate your time. We've learned a lot from you. Tim, it's good weather out there right now to go for that walk this evening too.